everybody? I'm back. I'm back. I'm feeling good, fresh, and revived, or almost revived, really, man. I am a little bit tired today, but I figured I should put a good foot forward and try to get some of this energy out there with y'all. You know what I mean? I hope everything is shining down upon you like the sun is over here today. As you can see, this beautiful light coming through to catch my face so I could be in front of you and communicate in a lovely way, as I often love to do. And big shouts to everybody that's on the grind, as I always say. I just hope you keep it positive, keep it healthy, informed, and all that stuff as we move through these times. And first of all, I just want to catch everyone up to speed about what's been going on with your man right here. Yes, I am still kicking. Yes, I am making music. I've been over here swamped with music, and that's why I had to take a step back. There were a few things going on with the junk removal business as well, which I will still be getting deeper into, in my own actions, on more days upcoming really soon here. But I had to get over a few hurdles, smog and all those things for both my vehicles, my recreational vehicle and work vehicle, so on and so forth, which was an adventure in itself, which I had to go to multiple places, failed a smog check here and there, had to go get some things redone. And then, so as you can imagine, it was more than just $70, you know what I'm saying? It ended up being quite a bit more, but nevertheless, that's behind me now. So I feel a lot better, a little bit more weight off my shoulders so I can think of other things. We all know how it is when you have things that you need to get accomplished and they just weigh down on you, even if it's clutter in your space, to clear out that space. That's why I love doing the junk removal stuff over these years, because it helps people do just that, get back to what they need to focus on and get right to it. And that's what we plan to do, right? You know what I mean? So, dealt with all that, been dealing with and dealt with all that stuff. I did like a few videos on the scene with the best junk removal stuff, some resourceful things, maybe a tip or two for people that are out there in these weird trying times, trying to make a couple extra bucks on the side. I had a friend or two, they're very intelligent, very great people, positive people, but we were talking in some conversations, that human connection, you know what I'm saying? And they were trying to pick their brain on mull over some ways on how to make a couple of extra bucks in these times, which nobody can fault that, right? We all could use some extra bucks, and it's not like there's anything new under the sun, or maybe there is, but we'll leave that to the people that are out there shaking and moving and innovating. But nevertheless, there are some other things that maybe people haven't touched on in order to make a couple extra bucks on the side. So I'll be sharing that video on my Best Junk Removal channel, and right here I'll just let you know that it has to do with recycling, you know what I mean? So if people are into that, or if you can pick up a hammer or pick up some tools and you're willing to do some extra work on the side and get a little exercise in and things like that, which I believe keeps you young. So I don't really see any downside to it, and you can make a couple extra bucks. So, so those you can check out on the Best Junk Removal channel here on, if you're on YouTube, you can check that out as well. And yeah, but right now I just want to also get to you and share that kind of energy, that adaptive, what do you call it, resourceful type of energy, because I feel we're going to need a lot of that to make it through this time period, you know what I mean? So don't ever stop being resourceful, think clearly so you can see more opportunities for yourself. And you have to be humble when you do it too, because some things people don't want to have to do, but nevertheless, there it is, the opportunity is there knocking. So if you're willing to take it, and I'm not talking about anything negative like selling yourself out negatively or anything, I'm just talking about getting active on something that could be productive, and plus your mind will be active on something else that's constructive. So I think that's really cool too. So but let's bring it back. So yeah, man, been going through, okay, registration, all these little changes with the business, things like that, working on a whole bunch of music. I mean, it's an insane amount. I tried to get some footage of me working on some songs, but it's just like under a certain deadline that I set for myself. And so I just had to keep on going. And also there were some artists that are amazing that I tried to reach out to on, this independent underground tip, and try to get some of that culture going with some tracks. But so far it's slow molasses. I'm not saying it didn't happen, I'm just saying it's slow molasses. We'll find out, I'll find out more in the future about that. But nevertheless, I just have to pick up the pieces, keep on moving because I have my own aspirations and goals and visions. And that aspiration is to share this good energy with all of you. You know what I mean? So I do hope that you enjoy the music that's on the channel. That's everywhere. Check me out everywhere. King ADS, King ADS Music, King ADS Joints on SoundCloud, so on and so forth. But check out my catalog. Check out everything that we put hard work into and that we share with you. You know what I mean? I hope that you really enjoy it. Also, if you are coming back to check me out and you know me already, please like the video. You know, if you are seeing me for the first time, come on, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, follow all that good stuff. I definitely love meeting really cool like-minded people that are motivated, and or just love to check out other people that are motivated. Either way, let's build a tribe together out here. We need more positive energy, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's been non-stop burning the candle at both ends to try to get like all these different things semi in order and get it done. So I also, you know, when it comes to doing these videos and stuff, I kind of burnt out a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, and that's possible. And you know, if you don't know what that is, I saw a few people bringing that up, and it's funny because I brought that up, like, I know, in earlier videos. If you haven't seen those, check out all my old talk videos. They're under the A.D.S talks and what do you call those, playlists and stuff like that, so you could check that stuff out. But yeah, and burnout, it's so weird. Like, some of the symptoms of burnout, what you'll have is like you had energy for whatever it is that you had to make it through, but you'll find that you're always tired, even if you sleep enough. Maybe you're not getting enough sleep, whatever. But you also will have curved appetite. You'll also have scenarios. You'll go through bouts where you can't seem to calm down because you're always active. So you know, you be mindful of that too. Like, your body's just moving on autopilot, but you really need to sit down. Um, Other things like the smallest task will sound like the biggest task, right? So like, one of those things will be like, for instance, you just need to hit a couple keystrokes on the computer, right? You just need to hit a couple keystrokes. This stuff will be done in no time. It'll take like maybe 5-10 minutes, but that sounds like someone's asking the world of you. It sounds like they want to take your arm and beat you over the head with it at that moment. Like, you'd rather just veg out. Or you'll find, that's another sign too. But yeah, so you'll burn out there. That's a sign of burnout. Even the smallest task sounds like a big one. Or you'll just find, another sign is you'll find yourself just sitting there aimlessly, just kind of vegging out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go on autopilot again. Like, instead of your body being overactive, it's dormant. Like, your brain is still going, or maybe it just wants to shut off. So you'll be watching like weird stuff and not really paying attention to it. Just time just going. Your feet will be out, you know, like your legs will be extended, your feet will be out. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just sitting in any type of particular posture. You'll be all slumped down and stuff, but you'll sit there for like 40 minutes and it'll feel like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So you might be a little burnt out. Oh, you might even get like joint tension, stuff like that. Maybe you've been moving back and forth in small areas a lot, and you'll start feeling that stuff. And I actually felt some of that as well. Actually, I realized that I was always on the go so fast, even if I was just in here, right? And I'm moving back and forth trying to get stuff done. All the tension will be building up in my hip and hip flexor area, all the pelvis region, just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then one day I said, you know what? Why not? You're not going anywhere like far. You're in a finite space. Just, you'll get to it. There's a couple steps. Just take a little tension off and slow down. And because as you know, if you watch me, like, you know that I've shared that I've gone through a number of injuries, and one of them was like a really bad groin injury, and that's still something that I'm still working out to be 100%. But I feel so much better, and I'm so thankful. But nevertheless, I can pick up on these subtleties now because of the injury. You know what I mean? Like, when you have an injury somewhere, you can pick up on these things afterwards. Like, so after your body's flipped inside out and turns, you know what I mean? It goes back to normal. You can kind of be a little more aware of when something's out of whack. And so I could feel that tension building up and everything. And I was like, how about you just slow down, take a little pressure off? And I did that. Well, something else magical must have happened up here, because when I went to sleep and woke up the next morning, I even had less tension. So it's as if, you know, like they say, the body follows the mind. So it's always the mindset. But nevertheless, like, yeah, a little bit of burnout, so when it came to the energy for making videos, it just wasn't there because I was literally like writing over 30 flows, way above that, to be honest, guys. Like a lot of music, I was really thinking I was going to be closer towards the 100 mark by the time I was done with this session, but that was predicated on a few other incidents taking place that haven't come to fruition just yet, which I really would love to see happen. And so I keep stay tuned for more of those things, of course, because I have the intent of seeing that happen. I would love to see that happen. So I'm definitely gunning for it. But in the time being, it just, some things I had to push forward through initially, and then kind of like get the feel of the survey of the atmosphere right now, because everything's a little bit flipped, and then adjust, and then come back and put the weight on my shoulders and go. And there are some amazing people who were part of this, and I'm so thankful. You know what I mean, like, contribution to this material is just outstanding, and I'm looking forward to trying to close that gap, and even more with a few more amazing individuals in the near future. But nevertheless, yeah, man. So with all that being done, and I didn't want to be recording like if I didn't need to. Like, my goal was to not be recording by the time like July or my birthday came around, like in August, so like it's like a whole half or more of the year just gone, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to try to really push, get through these things, and present them to you, you know what I mean? But nevertheless, something's always going to take the back seat, when you're putting out all that energy divided. And you always have to come back and replenish, or else you'll hit full burnout. And if you hit full burnout, then your body could retaliate, and sometimes can contribute to autoimmune type deficiencies like fibromyalgia or other stress related type things, where your body kind of goes haywire, from what I understand. I could be wrong, but that's my understanding of it. So definitely want to avoid those types of things, irreparable damages too. So definitely had to pick and choose my battles wisely. And yeah, so some things have to take a back seat sometimes. So the videos were going to take a back seat. And also up until recently, last night, I got this on the top of my head, I got that stuff together, which sometimes can become stressful for me too, I've learned, because it's a responsibility, and it's not someone doing it for me, I'm doing it. So it's a responsibility, so I have to be on it. And when there's a lot of other things going on, I just really don't feel like doing it. And I'm a real simple dude from my nature. I mean, my OG self, I didn't have a lot of hair. I would shave it off all the time. I always had a buzz cut. And if you don't know, the way this started was because there were some other people that I knew at a place where I rent my business storage at, and they always wondered what I would look like with longer hair. And that's how this all led up to what it is today. But so things evolved. But nevertheless, yeah, I'm a real basic dude. I'll just shave this stuff off so I can get to going, because I like to get to the go. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do because of how much time it takes me to do this. I mean, literally took me like probably 6 hours. I think it takes me on average about 6 hours to do something like this. So whenever I do it, I generally lose a day of productivity. You know what I mean? So that takes a lot out of me too. I feel better when it's done, but I know I'll have to do it again. And when the time comes, I always say I'll jump on it. But then when the time comes to jump on it, I have a lot going on, and then I let it go, and then I let it go some more. And usually I'll get to it. These days, it seems like a theme that I don't like is I get to it late by like almost a month. So it's like really out of hand by then. So I have to do a whole lot. It takes a lot longer, blah, 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 a lot of drama. So I'm not a drama filled type of personality. I'm very calm, simple, like to get to it. I have energy, but you know what I'm saying? Love fun, but this, so I don't know. You guys might see a change. I might shave this back off and go back to my old self. But nevertheless, I'm happy to be able to share this so people can say, look at A.D.S. Look at him over there with the long hair. He looked like a rocker or whatever, or he's a dreadhead or whatever. But you can see me for the records. It did happen, and I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So it did happen. I got the proof. That's my receipts. My receipts. You know what I'm saying? So it did happen, but nevertheless, like I said, I might just get rid of it again. So like you guys might be in for a change, because it's just a lot to maintain and to deal with, you know what I mean? But I did this because not only though, okay, those people asked me what would I look like. Also, I thought to myself, well, if it does go cool, then maybe I'll have some like a rock out with on the stage, and that would look cool for a while, you know what I mean? So I really did it thinking like, for some cool situations, and I could share that with you guys. But nevertheless though, practicality always wins, you know what I mean? Practicality always wins. And I tell you right now that it feels like a whole dedication and ordeal. But that's all part of it. So bouncing back from all that stuff, and just been moving forward, and happy to say that a lot of the material is done or going to be taken to a close. So I'll be sharing a lot more with you guys. Also just seeing a lot, and to keep, and also to keep the balanced energies, as we always like to touch on, talking about all these things going on, how it's crazy. And I just love to see people coming together doing positive things, and I think at this time it's definitely about what you can see that you can pick up and use to be resourceful with, to make something happen, you know what I mean, to be innovative in your own way, to do, like I said in another video, to learn how to be creative with things you already are familiar with, right? And to seek it out, and to make those things happen, to make them come to fruition, because with that we have more opportunity and more benefit from those types of things. I really see all this crazy stuff going on around the world. I'm not quite sure what's going on with humans right now, with all of us. Um, I see all the unrest, all the frustrations, um, the underhanded dealings on both sides, from the society and then higher ups in charge, and it's just too much corruption, and it's just too much division, and people are finding more ways to dislike or to disagree or to find differences, rather than to find the easiest flow in nature, which is the likenesses, and I just not sure what's going on. Shouts out. I love everybody. I'm not a nationalist of any sort. I don't support anyone with nationalist type views. It doesn't matter what hue, color you are. I don't support that. I believe that we all need each other. I believe that we're stronger together. I believe that communication is key, no matter what you do in this world. And I just, it hurts to see people not using such a gift that they've been granted, that makes us so beautiful out there. Um, but my heart does go out to people who are getting their families separated and things like that. That's chaos, you know what I mean? And your response is something that's understandable, but it also there comes with that at this time period that we're going to go through, the intelligence and awareness and ability to form a plan, see that through, organize with action in a powerful way, is going to be a huge thing. How people use their voice, because we are in a time where people do discover more that they have a voice, and they always have, but now there's more options to use that voice. So the way that it happens, I've seen some that are great, I've seen some that are awful. You have to be very careful when you run with the crowd. We all know, can't run with the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Not up to a certain extent. You cannot run with the crowd. You never know who's got what bone to pick with what. So, um, yeah, you can't always do that, but you can be informed, and you can move smart, and do things in a great way. Frustrations are always understandable, though, worldwide. You know what I mean? But we're just in such a it feels like the whole world is like something big is coming, right? It's like something's gonna tip. We are in a shift. We're in a shift. AI, everything, tech. We're in a shift. It feels like we're in a time where you're gonna get poked in the chest to get tested, possibly, like something bigger than all of us. It's kind of like what they wrote about judgment and stuff like that. Maybe it kicks off by trying to see how much you actually studied and learned while you've been walking this green earth, in this school, this place that you live in, whichever way you want to look at it, to see exactly how resourceful you become, to see how much you've actually paid attention. I would think it would be real unrealistic to have so much information that available to oneself, to anyone, and never be tested on it. You know what I mean? It just doesn't seem like that wouldn't make any sense. Life has ways of testing you. We know this. So Right now, it seems like the whole world is being tested, emotional maturity, maturity in itself, mental maturity, emotional maturity, um, intelligence, awareness, compassion, all these things, resourcefulness, right? The ability to work together, put aside petty differences or just ridiculous notions. Um, yeah, man. Healing, right? Healing, because there's a lot of trauma, a lot of damages done from the past, and that's all over the world too. Like, so there's a lot of things that are coming to a head, and we're at the precipice of a new chapter. So, right now, I don't think that what was working for us necessarily before will be the thing that'll work better for it going forward, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Things are changing, the world's changing. We got to change. We got to go forward, so upwards, forwards. Time in its constant. The one thing that's true is time is always moving forward. So change is also a constant. It's a given, you know. Um, but yeah, man, I just, I think I touched on a bit here, but just saying, man, my heart sentiment goes out to everybody. Hope that you get more good vibes coming your way or can create those good vibes. I wouldn't be into following the trends too much other than information maybe you can get yourself into. A lot of things you have to see for yourself rather than just take the popular word and discussion once again as following with the crowd. Oh, that's it on the way out. Another thing that's weird is we're seeing a lot of, like I always talk about, change, right? And we're seeing a lot of things that seem to be one thing and all they're cracked up to be. And a lot of it, unfortunately, in hip hop area has been people's weird dealings in the beginning and then having the success in what you perceive as the light in the public eye, and now the dismantling of such things, right? And it's not just in there, but it happens, right? It's happening. Strange. Another video I did, the good, the bad, the iffy. Check that out if you haven't seen that yet. But in there talks about that same principle. Start good in good, start bad in bad, start iffy in iffy. Don't expect to do bad and then decide to use all those things to do good, because all the bad things you did will catch up to you and ruin your reputation for doing good. Don't don't think that you could do a bunch of good, like you racked up a bunch of good points, and then you can do bad, because then it will prove you a fraud and everything you did before will be ruined. And don't ever go into anything you do in life iffy, or in other words, half-assed, because you get what you give, the result will be half-assed. And that can be applied to a lot of different scenarios, the iffy stuff too, but you can kind of have discussions, or maybe that will spark some thought or discussion about it. But yeah, man. So I'll leave with that one. I wish everybody the best. Stay tuned. More videos coming. I said that before, and then I got wrapped up in all this stuff, but definitely want to get back with y'all. It's a lot of fun, and I know this video is a little bit long. I thank you if you watched the whole video. But yeah, man, stay tuned. There's more on the way, and check out all the stuff. Like I said, like, subscribe, follow, friend me, whatever. Share this video. Let's share the vibes, make some comments, and let's build. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. I love y'all. Much love. Peace.